A writing guide at Purdue University, accredited school, apparently, tells students to avoid words like mailman and mankind in order to have, quote, non-sexist, non-biased writing.
So let me get this straight. A bunch of feminists want to ban the word man because they find it offensive. Well, I'm offended that they find the word man offensive. You got to be pretty sexist to find the word man offensive. I mean, it's clear as day these people have a bias and they hate men.
Kathy Aru is founder and publisher of Catalina Magazine, and we think she agrees. And she joins us tonight. Kathy, it's great to see you.
Hi, good to see you.
I got to say, there's kind of a basic irony here. I mean, you're lecturing us about sexism while you're sitting right now in Manhattan.
So according to her own logic, she's being sexist.
Manhattan, we need to rename the city then.
Sad thing is, she's not joking.
The Big Apple. The Big Apple would be less offensive. So I feel that I'm sitting in the Big Apple, not Manhattan.
That's offensive. Because God forbid we disagree and offend somebody. I mean, that's the number one sin, right?
Okay, but why stop there? Why should the post office deliver mail?
I know. Well, it's spelled M-A-I-L, so that's okay. If it's M-A-L-E, then there's a problem.
Homonyms count, and this applies to email too, because it's not about spelling, it's about being gender inclusive,
right.
And mail is offensive. We've just learned that.
So. Well, no, I don't think they're including that, but they are saying that society has changed and times are changing, and we don't want to be offensive in our language. And they're trying to be non-sexist and non-biased, and that means trying to take the word man out. So instead of man-made, it would be synthetic. So instead of mailman, it would be mail carrier. So there's many ways to go around it. Instead of humanity, you should say people.
I mean, there's people dying in third world countries right now, and this is the shit you're complaining about. Talk about first world problems. What it comes down to is feminists are trying to make it illegal to offend somebody. What kind of bullshit is that? I don't want to live in that type of society where I'm legally not allowed to disagree with the majority, which is left-wingers. I'd rather die.
But mail carrier still has mail in it. So you haven't, it's kind of a fake, but that's a Dodge.
Oh, package carrier.
Well,
we can come up with so many other terms that are less offensive. Yeah.
You might still offend dyslexics. You can change a vowel, but it sounds the same. It has that dreaded word that sends people shrieking for their safe spaces, mail.
Well, they're saying man. Man is the word that they're trying to avoid.
And see, this just proves that feminists hate men. They claim to be for equality, but they hate men. They're not for equality. Egalitarians are for equality. They want males and females treated the same. Feminists hate men, and they want to be treated superior to men. After seeing this crap, don't you ever tell me feminists are for equality. They want to literally remove man from every word. It just doesn't get more sexist than that.
They're saying that the word man is associated with adult men as opposed to just humanity or humans. So they're trying to avoid the word man. So if we can eliminate that word, then things would be much better and people would be less offended.
Well, what if you lived in Manchester, Vermont?
Well, they might have to change the name of the city if people agree with Purdue University. And Purdue University found that things need to be updated, and they updated their writing guide to take out these words that apparently are offending certain groups of people.
Okay, so just to make sure I understand the rule, if something offends somebody, even if you've never met that person personally, you have to change it. So
yes, according to left-wingers, Marxists, and communists, offending somebody is the same as violence. I have a video with Lavelle Robinson, a Black Lives Matter member, who states that saying something that people disagree with could cause them PTSD and that they're allowed to physically defend themselves against you if you offend them. Now, according to him, the law should allow him to respond with physical violence if somebody says something racist towards him. That video is called Stop Racism with Violence, and it's linked in the description box. Do I need to remind you people that black people believe Wakanda is a beautiful thing, which is a nation of black people? But when Richard Spencer wants to make a nation of white people, it's the most racist thing ever! And left-wingers truly believe they should be able to respond to that by punching him in the face, and they think that should be legal. Look, if offending people is illegal and you're allowed to respond to the person that offends you with violence, then I really doubt left-wingers will like when right-wingers start punching you in the friggin' face for disagreeing with them.
Doesn't that mean that a small group of super unhappy people get to control what the rest of us say and think?
Well, perhaps they're ahead of their time. Maybe this is something that is offending a small group, but the group's going to get larger, and times are changing, and our language is dynamic. Webster keeps adding new words in the dictionary, so our language needs to change. And a term that used to be non-offensive, like man-made and male-man, now needs to be changed.
Well, I get that. I guess the question for me is who gets to decide what changes and what doesn't. So, for example, I think I've now decided that the most offensive word in the language is college professor.
Oh.
Okay? Because to me that connotes dumbness and misuse of power.
Tucker, you're so fucking funny and awesome.
And tenure, right? And mediocrity. So maybe I'd like to say no one can use that word ever again in my presence because it offends me. Would that fly? Could I do that? Could I pull it off?
Well, if you have a writing guide, perhaps, and you put that out there and people agree with you, then yeah, maybe that would fly.
This is why democracy is so freaking dangerous, folks.
But Purdue University did find a group that agreed with them, and the university backed them up, and there you have it. They have a writing guide that now is going to teach us how to not offend.
Well, social justice warriors and gun grabbers offend me, so you guys could all, screw off now. Matter of fact, police are coming to your door right now to lock you up because, you're offending me because you disagreed with me, which is the ultimate offense.
But do you think they have the guts? I mean, it's one thing to bully the little rich kids who go to your school, because, what do they know? But do you think they have the guts?
This is the heart of America.
Yeah, no, of course. But if you're paying like 60 grand or whatever it is for the fake diploma you get, and you're not working, obviously you have privilege by definition, no matter who's paying for it. But but it's easy to boss them around. Do you think they would have the guts to go to Goldman Sachs in New York and say, change your name now or else?
They probably wouldn't shop there.
Instead of boycotting Goldman Sachs, how about we just boycott Woman? I bet MGTOW would agree.
I wouldn't shop there because
well, if they were shopping at Goldman Sachs, they might come up short because it's a bank.
Because the name man is adult male, and yeah, we need to change it. Like woman, I mean, it has the word man in there, so just call us a person.
I mean, I just can't get over the fact that they hate the word man that much. I mean, that's the most sexist crap ever.
Uh-huh. So, gold person Sachs, would that be better?
I think so. I'm less offended, yes.
And by the way, what if you just, since the rule is if you spell it, and I'll stop with this because I know this is angels on the head of a pin at this point, but if you spelled man differently, like M-A-A, so it was male man, but M-A-A-N.
No, the profession, we know that the professions usually were male-dominated, and they've changed. So, no, saying male man and spelling it differently, that doesn't apply. We're trying to say this profession now applies for men and women or persons, all people. No man needed.
Isn't there a man?
No man
hold on. Isn't there a man in the word woman?
Call me a person. I'd be less offended. No need for woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the end, the revolution always eats itself, as we often point out. Kathy, thank you for that guided tour of the linear regions. Appreciate it.
No problem.
That was definitely loony. Can we all agree now that feminists have lost it? First, feminists say that a man explaining themselves is disgusting, and it's called mansplaining, and men shouldn't have the right to explain themselves. They should just shut up and let the women talk. But I guess that wasn't sexist enough. Now we're just banning the word man. Freaking ridiculous. Thank you for watching. If you really like this video, be sure to subscribe. Also, smash that like button and the bell button. If you really, really want to support the channel, then become a patron on Patreon. Even if you just donate $1 a month, it helps tremendously. Thanks for watching. Oh, and check out the merch store, punk.